Hey everybody, so I slept in this Walmart parking lot in Tyler, Texas last night, and when I went to go lay down, I instantly, as soon as my head hit my pillow, I sneezed and my sinuses just went so I pulled my pillowcase back and realized that my pillow had mold on it from that leak the other day. My pillow just got drenched. So I threw it out, and the amazing thing about sleeping in a Walmart is I just walked inside and bought a new pillow and came out. It was all good. I do feel kind of sick today. I woke up with a little bit of a cough, but I think I'll survive. I got the fans going back there, and it's gonna air out all day, and I'll keep the windows down. It's sunny and beautiful out today. Look at this. It's just beautiful out here today. So I'm heading to Fort Worth, Texas area, and meeting up with a couple viewers, and we're gonna hang out and go explore. So woo! So far, Texas has been all forest and hills, and the beginning of it was swamp. I've been kind of surprised. It's not the Texas I had in my head, but there were a lot of guys in the Walmart wearing cowboy hats, so it's also cold. Interesting. Living in a van, you have to be much more aware and careful of severe weather. For instance, here just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I believe, about less than a week ago, they had like 2-inch hailstorm that destroyed a ton of people's houses and just endless vehicles, and made roofing companies and body shops a lot of money. But yeah, that solar panel on the roof would be completely destroyed in a hailstorm like that. Most of my windows would be destroyed. The body of the van would be destroyed. And that's a big deal. You know, that's a really big deal. And not only that, the glass shards. I mean, I've got the whole back sealed off, but the glass shards coming from the hail breaking all the windows, they can get in your eyes, they tear you up, man. But also tornadoes, even an EF1 can pick up the van up in the air and toss it around like a rag doll, man. And that's just nuts. So you got to be much more careful, you know, obviously flooding and hurricanes. But the good news is that if you stay aware of where you are and you pay attention to the forecast and the radar and everything else, you can get the heck out of there and you can do what I'm doing and just chase good weather all the time. And it's a really cool thing. I feel really fortunate. In fact, I've gotten really lucky with the weather here in Texas. I thought I was going to be getting through Texas as fast as possible to avoid tornadoes because of that storm last week. I thought that would still be going on. But what happened is the jet stream changed and went way up north. So it's going to be nice and sunny and beautiful weather here in Texas for at least the next week, where in New Mexico and Utah, where I'm going, because of that jet stream change, it's raining and cold up there. So now I can take my time through Texas and I don't have to rush, and I love that because I don't really like rushing anything. Well, I do, but I don't. I'm kind of full of paradoxes that way. Anyway, yeah, weather, good. Woo! Looks like I'm passing through the outside of Dallas. I can just barely see the top of the skyscrapers over those trees. It's pretty far off. I don't think you'll see it in the camera. So I was talking to my girl last night, who I respect, admire, and adore very much. I love the hell out of her. And she's taking this life coaching course, which is another thing I love about her. She's motivated and doing something to better herself and help other people. She's got a heart of gold, man. Massive heart. I don't know how it fits in that little body. But so we were talking about this idea. It's kind of fits into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I can't perfectly describe how exactly the thing works because it's been a long time and I don't remember the whole thing. So if you want to know about this more, look into it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know how to spell Maslow's, but you'll figure it out. So there's this theory that we have all these needs and they go in an order, and you can't meet the needs above the one that you're like stuck on or whatever. So the very bottom is like personal safety, like food, clothing, and shelter, like physical health and physical like safety. And some of the ones in the middle, I don't remember what order they're in, but one of them is like self-esteem and feeling like you value yourself and like you're worthy of love and affection, which is just a belief, by the way, which you have to create your own evidence for if you're in a situation where you're getting evidence contrary to that, such as people telling you aren't worthy. But some of the other ones are like feeling like you belong to some sort of community. And one of the other ones is intimacy and like romance and feeling like deeply connected to another individual, which usually comes through a romantic relationship. And the very top one, though, is self-realization and enlightenment. Fully understand. I don't think you can fully ever understand who you are, but like understanding the basis of who you are and what you represent and how your mind works, and feeling in control of your thoughts, and being able to guide your life the way that you want to. And I was thinking about how that ties into mobile living and some kind of mobile dwelling. For me, that's a van, obviously. And the food, clothing, shelter one is much easier in a van than an apartment or a house, because you don't have to work nearly as much to be able to afford it. You own your own home in most cases. Some people are doing leases. But it takes very minimal work to be able to afford to have a safe place to park and have enough money for food and clothes and whatnot. So that's easy to accomplish. The self-esteem part might be harder for some because there is a stigma. There are people out there. I get comments all the time of, oh, you're a loser, you live in a van, you're homeless, whatever. I just let that shit brush right off me. It's like, whatever, man. But the thing with that is that people who are judging us for living in a mobile dwelling are either jealous or so full of self-loathing and self-hatred and just so unwilling to take responsibility for their thoughts and become the kind of person they respect, that they're just so full of all this negativity that they can't help but pour it out onto other people. So I just say, nope, that's your problem, not mine, dude. I'm not responsible for your shit. If you want to pour your negativity on me, just keep it to yourself. I'm not willing to entertain that, and ain't nobody taking my sunshine. So another hard part for me of filling these needs is, I don't know where the zoom's at, is the feeling connected to a community. Now, on one hand, the YouTube channel totally fills that for me, because I feel like I've made a lot of friends off this YouTube channel all over the world, but especially in the US, and I'm going to meet up with 2 of them right now, which is really cool. So I'm making friends all over the place, but it's hard because I don't have physical contact with most of them, and I can't just go and hang out with them anytime I want. A lot of friends that I make in places, it's like I take off and I go on to the next step on my journey, and I might never see them again. But I still had that bond with them. I still made friends with them, and I still connected with them, and I still respect them, and I still hold them in my head as, someone I respect, and I would help out if they needed help, and stuff like that. I still consider them friends, even though I might not ever see them again. And that's been kind of hard for me, and I think that might be even harder for other people, because I grew up in the country, and I wasn't, I just spent a lot of time alone, and I got used to that, and I'm totally fine with being alone. Either that, or I'm really good at lying to myself and in denial. But like really good, because I'm really self-aware, but there's a chance that I might be lying to myself with this. But anyway, so those are the hard parts. As far as the having time to think about who I am and discover myself, and being able to put myself in different situations which I wouldn't be in if I was in one place, but also getting out of other people's definitions, which is a challenge on the YouTube channel, because all of you expect me to be a certain person in a certain way, and there's a subconscious thing in my head where I have to stick to that, which I can break, and I have broken, and I will continue to break, but it's an interesting subconscious thing that I'm not implying in any way that anybody is meaning to harm me in any way. That's just the way our minds work. So that might be harder for other people if they have a YouTube channel and they're trying to constantly recreate themselves as I am, which I highly suggest. But anyway, so if you're able to get out of the people you usually hang around with, and get away from your family and get away from your friends that you've been hanging out with for years, they have expectations of you, of who you are, and you subconsciously meet those expectations. They are putting these rules onto you and saying this is who you are, and you're expected to behave this way. And if you don't behave that way, they're going to lash out, and they're going to get angry because it creates cognitive dissonance. In their head, you're a certain way, and then you're doing something wrong in their subconscious primitive mind that they're not even aware of. They don't even know that they're doing it. And that's why I think a lot of people have problems with people changing, like their families. Even if their family is the most loving and supportive family, most people aren't aware of this phenomenon that they're pushing their definition onto you. So that's one another place where you might have a trouble with this, but I think that overall, I think that mobile living, and especially the transition from stationary to mobile living, can be a very highly effective way of moving up the ladder on all these needs, and just keep moving up to the self-realization part and working on that. And I don't think it's once you meet a need, then you just move on to another one and you never go back. You have to constantly upkeep all these needs. For instance, I could totally run out of money and have no way to get any money, and I would have a hard time getting food for a while. I mean, there's food banks and everything else, but it would be rough. But anyway, I thought that was an interesting thought, and I thought I would share it with you guys. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. Give me some discussion points. Looks like we hit some traffic. According to my GPS, there's an accident up here somewhere. I hope everyone's all right. All right, so I just got out of Fort Worth, and all of a sudden the scenery has changed. It's like this now. It's like almost like open meadow, rolling hills kind of thing. It's kind of cool. I love how the scenery changes. I love it. One thing I wanted to elaborate on with the self-worth thing, which really deserves its own video. I'm not going to be able to fully explain it here, but if your self-worth depends on other people approving of you, or even just one person, especially in the case of like a relationship, then you have a very, very dangerous idea in your head, and you're going to suffer, and you're going to feel like crap. It's just inevitable that you're going to be on this up and down thing. When people approve of you, you feel good. When they don't, you feel like crap and worthless. There's got to be a point where no matter what anybody else thinks of you, you know what you're worth, you know your value, you know that you deserve love and affection simply because you exist. All right, so I just met up with the guys, and we're heading down. They're going to show me some abandoned place that sounds really cool, so I'm going to check that out. Yeah, woo! All right, so we went and checked out a couple really cool places, a river and some other place that I can't talk about, but if you want to see pictures of it, get on my Instagram. Yeah, amazing day. Met two of the coolest dudes ever. Dude, you guys are so classy and respectful and considerate and everything else. You guys rock, man. It was really nice meeting you. So yeah, I'm just back at the van now. I just went to Planet Fitness, caught a shower. Now I am cleaning out the van because it's an absolute disaster and I can't stand it. And so yeah, I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna edit this and talk to my girl and get some sleep. So thank you for watching, guys. Love yourself, because nobody else can unless you do. Woo! Unless you do. Woo!